You think I might not want to because I'm working with them. And some people are working with these kids, they're trying. But if it's a kid that just you don't want to deal with, I'm okay with that too. Alright? Yes, ma'am.
As of right now, I have a new kid on my bus. Didn't know for a while he was kind of a problem child, and I'm took him off his medicine.
What's the last part?
Mom took him off his medicine.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to work with this kid, but some write-ups are gonna be coming.
Yeah, if you, and that's the thing, you know, you guys are drivers. You're not psychologists, you're not mom and dad for these kids. You're driver. Your job is to get them safe home and safe to school. And if they act a fool on your bus, let me know. I mean, but you gotta establish a pattern, okay? Val and I, right at the beginning of the year, worked really well with two certain kids. And it's like, write them up. And they were, you see it on video, they act, you know, it says, mom. They're not saying mom, but you remember when the little kids, mom. And it gets to a point where you're not driving safe. So if we set the pattern,
Is at that point that maybe they need an IEP or some type of...
that's out of my realm.
If you're not writing them up, we can't suggest an IEP. Just want to put that out there. If you think they need an IEP, an individual education plan, and maybe a SPED bus, they go by history of that student. What is that student? Why do you feel that way? Well, they're terrible on my bus. I don't see a single write-up. What are you talking about? We can't justify why that we think that they maybe need a SPED bus if you're not ready. I get it, we don't want to write them up, we want to try and work with them and that sort of thing, but we can't help them get to where they need to be if we don't keep a record of why we feel they need to be somewhere else.
Guys, if you need help writing somebody up and you've never done it before, come see me, I'll help you. My system looks totally different than yours, but I can help you. If you need help, the actual narrative of it, the write-up, there are 5 or 6, maybe more, drivers that are amazing at the write-ups. I mean, it's very articulate. Find them, they're here. I'm not going to point them out, but they're here. And they will help you. And they're really, really good. Alright?
Off with their head. And I'm just going to say this, Tony, sorry if I offend you. For those of you that have come, and I've heard through the grapevine, heard through the grapevine video here a little bit, that you're livid about the raises, especially about what Tony has gotten, shame on you. He's been making CDL wages all through last year, and we didn't realize it, and he does way more than just drive a school bus. I do not want that man's job. They should, I don't do the off with the head thing. That's not who I am. So he's earning every penny he gets. He's in there all. Thank you, Tony, for all you do.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Make sure that you're only allowing students on your bus that belong on your bus. If your student roster does not include Charlie, but he's trying to get on your bus, you need to be on the phone with, or on the radio with us saying, hey, Charlie's trying to get on. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him. He's not on my roster. Let us help, because the last thing you want to do, and it's happened before, it happened to first student last year, they got a student on the bus, didn't even go to their school district. They went to a totally different school district. They got to the school, and he said, well, this isn't my school, and this is where I go, get off. And now we've lost an entire kid, and he was in a totally different school district. Not just a different school within the district, but he wasn't even supposed to be in Wichita, he was supposed to be in Renwick. So make sure, and some kids are getting kicked off buses and trying to go to, mom and dad is driving them to a different bus stop, saying, try this bus, let's see if we can get you on that bus. Don't let kids on if they're not on your roster.
That includes notes from the administrators. We don't do that anymore. The only time is if they call in and we approve it because of if it's an existing stop and they give us the notice ahead of time. The only people that can approve them getting on the bus is transportation. Because if they don't have the bus form filled out, they don't get on any bus unless it's a field trip.
Exactly. If you have an accident and that kid doesn't have a bus form filled out, we are liable if he got hurt. It's covered by insurance for everybody else, except for the one that they never gave us permission for.
I have a question, kind of somewhat with this, but kids are on the same bus, but Sally wants to get off at Susie's stop. Same bus route, everything, no difference.
Right.
Is that allowed with parent permission?
Only if we have given you the okay.
Okay.
So two kids ride the same bus, they don't get off at the same stop, but they want to get off at the same stop, absolutely not unless we have told you that that's okay. Some families, yes, but we do not allow them, Susie, bus 7 student to ride on bus 240's bus. No kids are riding another bus, absolutely none. We've carried that over from the COVID rules. Nobody rides a different bus unless they contact us and we deem it an absolute emergency. We've had families, mom has passed away and we have to find, we'll take care of that sort of stuff. But you cannot approve that.
So for that, do they call transportation? Do they send us with a note and then we give it to you guys? Or what would be protocol to handle
They
that?
need to call us.
Okay.
Yep. Did somebody else have a question?
You're against
I answered it, nice.
I have one.
Booyah. Yes, ma'am.
Can we just transfer kids out of the schools, like for instance, Michelle needs one of her kids to come over to my bus?
For what?
Well, what I told you on the 21st.
Oh, that's been approved by us, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's been approved by us. And obviously, when you guys, if I pull in and I'm running late for a trip or something and I need to unload onto your bus, we know that's going on, that's fine. There's no issues there. Kelly?
For the newer drivers, what about the kids that get on your bus at the school, go, oh, I'm supposed to get picked up? And
Parent
then jump
pickup.
off your bus.
Yep.
What are we supposed to do?
So if a student loads your bus and they want off your bus, unless they have already bolted, you don't let them off your bus. They've loaded, you need to contact the school or us and say, hey, this kid says they're supposed to be at parent pickup, because once it's a hand-to-hand release. The school has released them to you, and if you let them off your bus and it's not the school taking them back in, who's responsible? You are, because they were in your hands when the school walked away. So you need to make sure they stay in your hands until somebody else approves that. Good call. Anything else? Good. Do it again, Kelly.
One other thing, what about these kids that have to go to the bathroom?
They haven't approved bathrooms on the buses yet, so you gotta call into the school. If they gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta call into the school first, and they have to let them off, or they have to approve the kid getting off of the bus. You can't just let them run back in to go to the bathroom.
Does that include like an emergency situation where you're mid-route and the kid is like desperate? Because I've had that before where I've had a kid, for one reason or another, didn't go beforehand, and they are literally about to burst. So,
Take them
so is that.
Yeah, honestly, they need to wet their pants. They really cannot get off your bus.
Trash can in the front, trash can in the back.
That is a terrible thing to say, but if you let them off your bus, you as the driver can't get off of that bus.
But even if like I as a parent escorted them, I can't do that?
If there's anybody else on the bus, absolutely not.
Take them home first.
Yeah, you can always try and route them first, you can try that.
But I do some of these that know that bus. Every time I have to go to the bathroom, I'm first off the bus. I tell mine, one time, that's it, no more, do it in the school before you come out.
There you go.
Closer to the school, go back to the school, if you're close to here, come here, because we have staff. So, other than that, yeah. But you open that
You
can
let
of
'em-
worms, and we know there's a couple buses that there's every day. You start letting them off, they're gonna like, oh, well, I can use the bathroom. We also need to tell the teachers, this kid needs to go to the bathroom before he gets on the bus. If there's a continuing issue, let us know. So you just say, we hear, need a student to go to the bathroom. It's the same kid, let us know, because then we'll call the administrator and say, hey, this kid needs to go to the bathroom, because every day he needs to go to the bathroom at the other school.
So we'll try and help you
That
out
way
there.
we can cut it down.
Deb.
Well, on the same subject, we had it earlier this week, in fact, I think it was yesterday, where, look, the teachers and everything are contracted. They're not gonna open their doors before a certain time.
Oh,
I understand, emergencies come up, bloody noses, puking, all of that. Kids have to go potty, I understand that. But at the same point, the time that radio came on and called, you shouldn't have even been at the school at that time. You were extremely early to the parking lot of the school. If I'm correct,
20 minutes.
sure, they're not even supposed to be pulling into the parking lot of their first school in Tier 1 until 7:10. 05, 710.
I think it's 7:10.
That's
That's when they get released, so 7 o'clock.
So if you're sitting there at 6:45, 6:50, 6:55, we don't have, even though you see somebody in the office, and don't get me wrong, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're gonna be missing kids, you're gonna be running early or whatever. But you guys have to understand, you may see them in the office, you could sit there and do this. I can't guarantee they're gonna open the doors for you. And if your route is consistently running that early, we need to back up your tires.
Yes.
Another suggestion, especially with these young kids, if they're constantly the same kids using the bathroom, talk to the parents, because there could be a medical issue. I had one a couple of years ago, and it found out the child was a diabetic. Just saying, if there's a total issue and it's the same kid every day, they probably gotta go, there's a medical
I
problem
understand,
sometimes.
but
There you go.
the point of the principal is.
And that wouldn't be the first time a bus driver figured out a medical issue
If
with a
there's
student.
a customer coming in at 5, then you should be there.
Oh, I remember that. Okay. Heck, look whose picture that is! This might have been taken back when MacGyver, what'd you say the name was of the detective? Yeah, Gary Mason.
That is my wedding.
I know, you're so beautiful.
That was a long time ago.
You look exactly the same.
Doesn't she?
Thank you.
It's all that young.
Real quick, TAC is moved to bi-weekly, or not bi-weekly, bi-monthly. So we're meeting 2 times a month, so look at the dates. This next one is gonna be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon because we have Vermillion coming. And we have May South Elementary and MIS. If you've got an opinion about what we're doing, loading and unloading, bathroom situations, that's our first point on our agenda for all of those elementary schools as they come and talk to us. Get them to the bathroom and before you get them on the buses, because that, I know that's a problem. We had Ty Hamilton from Mays Middle School at the last TAC meeting. I had a great conversation with him. Some of the things that we suggested, and he was real interested in getting a bus bell. They are doing better about getting on the bus at Mays Middle on a timely manner, but he had no idea that the high schoolers were sitting out there waiting because we're waiting on those kids. Dewey volunteered graciously to be the backup bus. If they get a bell and they're stragglers, he's going to take them over for us. There was a suggestion about putting some mesh weave in between those yellow pylons to push the kids into, yeah.
Keep on the sidewalk.
Keep them on the sidewalk and keep them coming out a certain way. They're doing a better job about holding them back, all those athletes from running across in front of the buses and stuff. But it's been great talking to him, and I think he was real appreciative of what we're doing, the way we're leaving the bus openings. And he said that's really a good idea, and that's the first time he had seen that. So if you have an opinion about any of these things, make plans to be there at 1 o'clock. It is 1 o'clock
Because some people that don't know what the TAC is.
October 25th at 1 p.m. TAC is the Transportation Advisory Committee.
That's what TAC is.
Yes, it is volunteer. You don't clock in to do it. We hold it in here, and it's just to voice your opinion and talk about things that we as drivers face. Some of the times the administrators come and talk to us too. We keep minutes. Sarah is a fabulous minute taker, and if you want copies of what we've done in the past, you can get those from her. There's a lot of things that we've gotten our hands in and have been able to do because of TAC. I went back over some of the topics that we had from the very beginning, and some of the things we need to push on are the signage. The signage on Mays South, not turning left as you go out of Mays South in the mornings. We want to move the stop sign at Mays Middle out onto 45th to a yield sign. And there's some other signage in there that we want to make sure we get put up, and we're pushing on that. One of the things we talked about on 45th coming out of Mays High School, we kind of came to a consensus that one way is not better than the other. We don't have a better solution. So we really are, some of the frustration is that people are trying to scoot 3 buses into that turning lane as you go out into 45th, and it holds up all the rest of the buses. If there's 2 buses there, just go the other way. I've been trying to do them both, and one day you can beat it going one way, and one day you beat it going the other. It really doesn't matter which way you decide to go. But just don't go more than 3 buses there, because you're holding everybody up behind you. Shannon?
I talked to Joe, he has possession of the sign for south. He just got to get it installed. He says he'll try to do it today, but it might be next week, but he does have the sign for south.
Okay, thank you, Shannon, that's amazing. She's really good with the signage. If you'll notice that there's no emergency, or make sure you got your emergency brake pole, that was Shannon too. We got those out on the poles just as a little reminder so that nobody rolls backwards and, or.
Except the solar panels?
That looks bad on us. And I think that's about all I've got. You got something, Debbie?
Joy, when I was at the last TAC meeting, I usually have to miss it before the shuttles, but there was no one representing the minibuses. Or, I mean, you guys are invited. It's for everybody.
It's open to everybody, and if you've got an opinion about something, that's the place to bring it.
We are living.
And if you have something, an agenda item, get it in Sarah's box or mine, and we'll get it on the agenda, and we'll make time to talk about it. We only go an hour, and so if you haven't, that's where to go with it, so.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thanks, ma'am.
Let's see, it'll be up there. It's Vermillion, MIS, and May South. They're coming to the next.
So thank you to all of our TAC folks that take care of all that for us. I know it feels like we're in molasses. It doesn't feel like things are moving where we want them to, as quickly as we want them to. It's a big district, guys. And I have a whole lot of bosses, so, but we're getting stuff done. They're moving and grooving, and they're moving boulders a little bit at a time, so we're getting there. So thank you to all the TAC folks.
Cindy's turn. There we go.
Oh, you're gonna plug one in, right? Come on up, Cindy.
All right, mine, I want to talk about was drug suspicion. Know your students. These are some things to look for. Dilated pupils, small pupils, red eyes. You also get that with people drinking on the bus. They may have red eyes. But don't approach them. Go to somebody like an administrator and let the administrator know that you're suspicious of, change of character, or, they're acting different. Physical signs would be if they have slurred speech, unsteady walk, uncoordinated movements, shakes or tremors, unexplained sweating or shivering, fidgeting, inability to sit still, difficult staying awake, unusual body or breath odor. That's why I say know your students well enough. If they are acting different and you're suspicious that maybe they could be on something, like I said, don't say anything to them. Just go to an administrator. And you guys, once you get to know your students really well, you can always tell if they're just not quite acting like they normally do. Some of the behavior signs are attendance problems, acting withdrawn from others, or secretive. Kids that they're not on that 2 or 3 days and then they show up, or, you know, that's some of the signs to look for. Psychological signs, unexplained change in personality or attitude, sudden mood change, irritability, angry outbursts or inappropriate laughing, unexplained fear or paranoia, inability to focus or to concentrate. Things just kind of to look for. This is what we talked about, gloving up. If you find any kind of tablets on the floor, do not pick them up with bare hands. Always have a glove, keep them inside the glove or whatever to bring them into the office. I wanted to show you guys this. This is rainbow fentanyl. And that almost looks like sidewalk chalk. So, as you can see, they're targeting younger kids. So, kids probably think that's just some kind of like Skittles or candy or whatever, the way it is. Anything that looks suspicious or whatever, something like that, make sure you do not pick it up with your big hand and use gloves. Yes?
Can we get a picture of that for our buses with like a big nose, so we can actually, because some of these younger kids don't even have an idea. And
Right.
that looks straight up.
Just look just like candy, yeah.
I wouldn't have thought it.
I think we probably could do that, probably, couldn't we?
I've just told all my kids if they see something on the floor and they don't know what it is,
Right.
do not touch it, let me know and I will come get it. And I've had kids say, there's an M&M on the ground. I'll come pick up the M&M. Or,
Right.
there's
Exactly.
a checker on the ground, I'll come pick up a piece of checkers. But that has helped my bus a ton.
Right, that's a good idea.
Wear gloves. Yes.
And like you said, you might say something to the kids, you know, if you don't know what it is on the ground, don't pick it up, because fentanyl will go right through your bloodstream. It just takes a tiny little bit, and anyway, and if you guys don't want to pick it up, and it's like after you're out, come in and have Tony or somebody go out there and do it. He'll do it for you. Yeah. Right, yes, Patty.
So, G-Man and I put gloves, disposable gloves on every bus.
Okay,
So they're gas gloves. You can use those, they're in your pockets.
right. But if for any reason you don't want to, and it's like after you're out, you're coming in, get somebody from the office. Like I said, Tony will be glad to go out there.
Guys, it's funny, but seriously,
It's,
call someone, if you don't wanna pick it up, I wouldn't even trust those gloves that Patty's talking about. Just if you see something in it, you know, a light bulb goes off in your head, just don't touch it. Don't touch it, call somebody else. I mean, I might look at it and go, you know what, I'm gonna get the PD guys to come over, so.
right,
Just don't touch it, if you can help it. If you know what it is, like, you know, Maggie's saying it's M&M, or yeah, pick them up, but
right.
if it's something like this, or something goes, like I said, goes off in your head, man, don't touch that stuff. It's 10 to 15 seconds respiratory problems, and within a minute, you're out. And
It
if
could be
nobody's on your
just-
bus,
it-
you're done.
You're right, it could be the dust off of it could cause problems with you. I mean, they were talking about, police officers were talking about just a little bit of dust in the air from fentanyl could cause problems. And, so anyway, yeah, don't take any chances. One thing is, don't put fear in your students' minds. Don't get them so scared. I mean, it's just gonna cause anxiety, depression, and stress. And whatever you say to them, that they're scared of. You gotta remember, they're gonna go home and they're gonna tell their parents. They're gonna tell people at principals at school what you're saying. Kind of watch what you say about it. You know, just, but if you say, if you guys see something on the floor, you don't know what it is, just come get it. But don't go out and say, you know, how fentanyl kills and fentanyl. I mean, don't put fear in their heads. But anyway, because we don't want to do that. Yes.
I would like to also add into, in some kids, it also might spark in curiosity.
That could be too, yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have. Any questions?
They learned, I think, most of this in one of their TAC meetings, so their TAC meetings really they're pretty fun.
And we went to a drug suspicion class over the summertime too, in Topeka, was with our defensive driving, which we learned a lot about that too, so.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah.
We're almost done. We're going to talk a little bit about the parade. I talked about it on the radio this morning. So Mays High has their homecoming tonight, their homecoming ball game. And just like South did a couple weeks ago, they're going to have a parade. They've changed the way they're going to do it just a little bit, but they're going to come out of Mays High down this west side by MCA. They're going to go out to 45th. They're going to come down 45th. But instead of turning and going straight back up 119th, they're going to cross 45th to MIS and go up the bus lane and parade through the bus lane. And then they'll come out the bus lane and then come back to 119th and then head to Academy. This intersection is going to be completely closed while that parade goes on. And that's going to be about 1:35 to 1:45, somewhere in that 10-minute, 15-minute window. Okay, so if you're heading to work, hopefully by then, keep in mind, you probably need to leave early, and if you're going to be here early, you'll need to come, you can come up from this, you can come from either way, if you're coming early. If you're coming late, this is going to be blocked off until they are completely done. I would go around and come in from the north. However, if you wait too long, you're going to get caught on the traffic going north up 119th. The key here is, don't be late, come early. Clock in, I don't care, don't be late. Okay? Because when you're trying to when you're trying to get across traffic, you're going to miss it. By the time you get through that, you're going to be late getting to your first schools. Who said what? Yes.
How long is it going to go for?
Just 15 minutes. 10, 15 minutes. That'll affect us. This intersection here will affect about 10 or 15 minutes. The whole parade, I think, lasts about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Yeah, they're leaving Mays High at 1:35, and they pass Vermillion at 2:10, so an hour probably by the time they get back. Sorry?
What time are they going to block that intersection?
They're going to be at MIS between 1:40 and 1:45. They're leaving the high school at 1:35. So 1:35 to 1:45, you can pretty well guarantee it's going to be closed.
So that'll all be done.
So,
Yeah.
when this isn't done by the time school's out, we're just gonna be waiting another.
Oh, it'll be done. Yeah, it's high school, so you're only at intermediate by the time they're finishing this up. So, yeah, sorry, Mason Mills. Okay. On the shuttle buses this afternoon, because of that, Mays High is gonna, they're not taking anything after the 105 bus. So Caesar today, by the way, I need a driver for Caesar.
From MCA to South, because I do that one.
At 105? Then no. Now, if it's the second half of taking them back to their original school, yes. But the shuttle that comes after the 105, I don't know what time that is, I don't have it. 1:30 something. It's the last shuttle of the day. Greg, I know I hear you on the radio every day, that affects you, and if there's another one.
I will be, my last back here is at 109, and that's just to bring MCI kids back.
Okay,
Or MCA kids
you're
back.
good with that one, but the last shuttle of the day, the last shuttle that runs right into the head of our routes
Fourth block.
is not running.
Not running, right.
Okay? No. Caesar is gone today. I need a shuttle driver for him at 11:30, I think it is. And the 105 if anybody wants it.
they're going to go to the schools, pick up the students, and take them back to their home schools. They will not take the students to the fourth block. Like, they'll never even leave the school. Yeah, it's only like a half.
All right. Flu and vaccination clinics, if you are interested. They're having another one October, so that's Monday. If you're interested, we have sheets up here you have to fill out and take with you. For the flu and vaccination clinic they're having on Monday. If you want to go to that, you're welcome to. It's at May South. Those are the times, May South Intermediate. If you want to go to those, you're welcome to. Just grab a sheet. All right. Okay, now we're going to talk about payroll. Yeah, and that stuff. So, you guys all got this email from Brandy Clark talking about moving up a step and all that. I still haven't gotten trained on how I'm supposed to do that because now all of the numbers I've used in the past are gone. But we'll get that taken care of. So, I have been told, this has not been uploaded into the system yet, it is coming, but you'll be able to go into employee information, lane step history under personal, and you'll be able to see what lane or step or whatever it is that you're on. This has not been done yet. They're working on it right now. Some of you might be done, but most of you are not. We all know transportation gets done last. So, but this is how you'll be able to find out where you're at. Okay? So, this week has been, excuse my French, hell on our office staff. We have been hounded, we have been yelled at, we have been chewed on for the raise or the lack thereof that you guys have gotten. And I am astounded and kind of flattered that you guys think I have any control over that. You guys know that we have pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed for your raises. You guys aren't getting paid what you need to get paid. We are at least somewhat competitive with our neighboring districts at a point, but we're still not where we need to be. Remember at the last meeting I said this is what the budget, what we have, because it's last year's budget. This isn't what Rocky and Darren set in place. This is what Chad and Richard had set. And whatever the teachers took over, how much they took, whatever's left is all that's left for the entire rest of the district. So what you guys got was what was left after the teachers did their negotiations. I'm tickled it was a 40-cent raise because typically in the past we've only gotten 20 or less. Some years we haven't gotten anything. So is it what we wanted? It absolutely isn't, but it's better than nothing. And we're hoping next year, because we're setting the budget now for next year, and with them increasing the mill levy, we'll be able to get those wages up closer to where we need them to be. Okay? So some of the rumors that we heard. They did not give raises to everyone to try. You didn't get the money you got to try and push some of our senior drivers out. We wouldn't be spending $750,000 on buses if we were trying to reduce our staff. Or the one I've heard is they're trying to get rid of us so the first student can take over. Are you crazy? No. First of all, transportation is a moneymaker for the district. We get paid for every student that rides our bus. Well, now we do. Everybody over 2.5 and sped. Why would we give that away? They gave you raises to try and keep you here because they know you're not happy, and this is what they were able to do this year. Okay? So we're not bringing a third party in to take over transportation. That's not happening. I'm working on a $300,000 or $750,000 order for new buses right now. We wouldn't be doing if we were planning on a third party coming in to take over. Okay? And why would we want you to quit now? It's only October. It's October now. We got a whole rest of the year to go. That's a dumb game plan. So this is not legit. It's not true. Yeah. Okay, this will crack me up. I did not talk the board into giving you a tiny raise so that I could get a better salary. I actually turned my salary down and told them to give it to you. I didn't want the raise. Give it to the guy, because I can't drive the buses. You can give me more money, but I'm not the one that needs it to stay. And I was turned down. It doesn't matter why. I turned mine down to try and give back to you guys. And I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. It just ticks me off that people are mad because I'm getting more money when I did not ask for it. I did not ask for them to give me a raise because I focused on trying to get you guys your raises. Okay? Please don't think yeah. Okay. And then we talked about 40 cents. It's not a tiny raise. We've had less before. I know it's not what we want, but we're getting there. And this one, I almost want to stand here and block it first. Because what's going to happen is somebody's going to read this and go, she wants me to quit. I don't want anybody to quit, but here's the deal. If you're unhappy here, if you are so mad at us, and you hate us, and you hate coming to work, why are you here? The first week of school, I was in ICU. I'd had a stroke. And I tell you what, guys, it opened my eyes to a lot of garbage that I don't have to put up with. And you are in charge of making you happy. And if this is not doing it for you, good Lord, go find something that does. If you don't like the kids, if you don't like your coworkers, if you don't like the way that we run the organization, go find something else. McDonald's is hiring, everybody in the whole world is hiring. I don't want you to leave. Don't walk away going, oh my gosh, she wants us to leave. Because I don't. I really don't. But we need to change our attitude, because here's what we've got, and we can't change it any more than what we can. The hand that we've been dealt is what we've been dealt. We have to find the best way to deal with it. And that includes our wages, that includes some of our coworkers that we don't care for, that includes maybe some of the management we don't care for, but this is the hand we've been dealt. So hang on. As far as I'm concerned, I love my job. Almost every single thing about it. And I think most of you love yours, or you would not still be here. Okay? But if you're not happy, I don't want anybody to go, but if you're not happy, all you're doing is bringing everybody else down that is happy here. And it's not fair to them. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Ron, your turn.
Yeah, I can reiterate that. I've worked at a lot of shops in my life, and I can say when I moved away from the car dealership to here, well, not to here, to be a bus mechanic, I took a cut in pay, quite a cut in pay, but you know what? I was happy. Because a lot of these places, they don't care about you as a person. They didn't at the dealership. All they cared about for me was my production. How much money could I make from that? So I took a big cut in pay to be the Goddard bus mechanic there, but I was much happier. Just to reiterate, I mean, you could do a lot worse. I don't have a lot for you guys today. If you have any questions for me, though, I'm all ears. As far as we're trying to keep up. We're short-handed, as you know. If you know any guys that have some experience, or ladies that have experience being a mechanic, send them my way. We've got a lot of buses over there down right now. As far as sending them out to other shops, they're short-handed too. I've got several at Kansas Truck. I've got some scheduled into Cummins. When I try to schedule them, these other shops are 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, they're out. Everybody's short mechanics. I talk to vendors from other facilities. Everybody's short mechanics. So if you think sending out, they get them done faster, they don't. They're more likely getting done quicker in-house, because we have one over there right now that's still under the powertrain warranty. So I could send it to Cummins, but it would take a lot longer to fix this oil leak in-house. And Sean already fixed it. It's already done. It would have taken me 3 to 4 weeks to get it out to Cummins, to get it in, to get it done. So, you know, we could have had it done under warranty with no cost to us, but it just didn't make sense when we could just get it done quicker in-house. So most of the times we can get them done quicker in-house. If it's a huge repair and it's under warranty, of course I'm going to send it out because they're responsible.
And the rubber boot that goes on the emergency brake,
Yeah.
if I go around and see what buses don't have them, can we get those for all of the emergency brakes?
Chris, did you order those?
What's that?
Did you order those, or Chris?
I
thought we
did.
ordered them.
I've got a handful of them.
Okay, because it's getting cold, it was hard, it hurt.
We weren't able to order them yet, because when we tried to order them, they did not have, they only had like what?
Okay.
We need to find somewhere that we can buy them in bulk.
I've got a handful of them. If there's people, I know, you
I
know,
want one
you have
too.
delicate hands. Yeah, A lot of you tough guys that don't
Okay,
need.
I'll start, I'll bet if I start a list. Write a list of the buses, numbers, and the names.
I only have a handful, I probably can't go through.
First come, first served.
How do I go around? I don't know if you talk about a number, can you talk about a starting wage for the mechanic, or is it something that's based on their
It's
experience?
definitely based on experience, education, you know.
Because I've been asked, like, well, what are they paying them? Like, I don't know.
Starting wage just went up a little. So it's really based on, I bring them in and I get a feel for their experience level and what they know, what they don't know, and go from there. So it's a pretty wide range there, you know. Brandon, just out of WSU Tech, he has a lot to learn, and he started, of course, a lot lower than Sean did, because Sean has 15 years of experience coming in.
DEF question. In our TAC meeting, when that DEF come up, and I know you got it on order for 237s or something like that, because it's out of warranty. But truck driver Richard says, and I don't know anything about this, it's possible a screen in there. If we can take something off and fix it, can we use that? I mean,
You know,
can it be fixed in-house? Possibly?
Bluebird said no, we can't.
It's not under warranty. You told me that.
Yeah, I know, it's still, we're under state, you know.
Okay, no, I don't know.
Well, independent, I guess they'll go around it, so they keep using the vehicle, where we can't.
Or still using the vehicle. We're going around it. And I'm looking at the lights all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna shut down, and,
Actually, it started working pretty good. But I know what's going on, that's all. I mean, it's not bothering me, because I know the issue.
yeah, it's,
But I just wondered if it was the thing about screen. Richard said something about cleaning the screen, and I don't know anything about it. I don't know if that's fake or true. I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up.
yeah. We don't have the same leeway as like an independent truck facility that can go around it, because we're state, and we can't go around these safety, government-controlled emissions because of that. Keep using the bus when we know there's a problem going on.
Well, I was talking about fixing, not some circumventing the system. He talked like it's a dirty screen. I don't know.
A dirty screen inside.
Something inside the DEF. I don't know what the DEF does.
Well, the main problem we have with the DEF system is not, it's the pump assembly itself in the DEF tank. They flake out, they don't read properly, so most times they say the temperatures are, out of whack, the level's out of whack. Most of them, they're not reading the proper level, they tell you need to when you don't. So, but the biggest problem we have is, it's called the DEF head, and it goes right into the DEF tank. And if they're still under warranty, we can get them faster because they want to take care of the new warranty customers first. If it's customer pay, if it's out of warranty, yeah, it takes longer to get the parts in because they take care of the newer vehicles first.
Which is my case.
Right.
Out of warranty.
We ordered one last year, when Nick ordered it last year. He just got it like last month or something on 222. I mean, yeah.
Now, mine worked several days, I'll be no problem. It worked just like supposed to, and all of a sudden, bang, I got all lighted up. And in a few more days, it's working again. And I know it's just a DEF issue, don't get it?
It's a DEF issue. The newer the diesels, the more government restrictions on them and the more problems.
We said digital actual conversations where questions don't need answers. My question is, can we get a time frame if we need a part to get our bus fixed, so we know if we're gonna be stuck in a sub bus for 6 months?
Yeah, if it's, like I said, if it's a DEF problem.
I don't know, it's 219, but 214 had the same problem, it's been down all year, so I'm just wondering how long I'm.
No, those aren't DEF, they're both, we've got one in the shop right now, they're VGT from it. It's a VGT.
No, I know, I understand that, but I'm wondering, what's the time frame so I know if I need to set up my sub bus, just like my regular bus, that way I know if I'm gonna be in there for 4 months.
Seat charts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done that already.
I get, it's hard to give a definite time frame. I mean, we get, I've got 50 completed episodes right now. And every day is different. Things pop up, I mean, I can't, it's hard to give a definite time. We've got,
219. It's got the same problem as 214, and like I said, 214's been down all year. So I'm wondering, am I gonna be down the rest of the year? Should I just plan on that? That's all I want to know.
no, I mean, I've got an VGT order for that one. I'd say a couple weeks. No, not all year.
Can they handle that later?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron.
All right, one last thing, and then you guys are out of here. We are short drivers. I know you guys are sick of hearing that. As of a week from Monday, every sub I have is going to be on a permanent route until we find drivers. So as of a week from Monday, we have no subs left. Everybody is on a route, except for my office staff, which sped routes always come first. Those are the ones I have to cover first. And then we cover our big routes. So if I have a minibus driver out and all of my regular subs are out, my minibuses come first, and whatever big buses are off or gone or missing, you guys, those routes won't be covered. Those will be calls that we say, hey, you don't have a driver today, please try and get your kids to school, get your kids home, because we don't have drivers. And I'm not saying that to bash on anybody, I'm not saying that to be crude or rude or anything like that, I just want you guys to know where we're at. So any time off requests that you have starting a week from Monday, for the rest, until we get some CDL drivers, understand your route will not be covered. No matter how far along, how long ago you requested it, because I have 4.5 routes without a sub, or with permanent subs. And we may rotate those subs, but I don't know how we're gonna fix that.
Can we encourage the board members to get their CDLs?
I am working on them. And our bosses. Yes.
If the time off has already been approved, is it still?
Yep. It'll still be, your route won't have a driver. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll do some rolling on you next week. I know, yeah. Don't forget to log out.
Yeah, everybody's gonna try to do this.
Monday, sorry guys, I forgot. Monday, anybody that wants to be in this building at 8 a.m., they're going to have para training. It's strictly for paras. You're not getting driver training, but they're going to teach you how to de-escalate and how to deal with difficult students, strictly as a para. So if you want to come Monday, you can get paid from 8 a.m. to 11:15. Yes. Okay.
I'm pushing and sharing.
I'm an adult, so I like to be responsible.
Where's the sign-in sheet at, guys? Kim might have it. Check with Kim. Hang on just one second. I got somebody over here backing it out. Shannon, did you stop that? Oh, you got it?
No, but
Ready?